It's not just about the shorts. It's about inspiring others. It's about having fun and making new friends. It's about getting hit down and getting back up again. It's about being a team. Pivot Star. It's about roller derby.
Welcome to all of you at home. This is Bob Noxious sitting alongside Ann Destruction from Terminal City.
Hi, Bob.
And we are live from the Klash in the Kootenays, the Western Region Championship Tournament for the Roller Derby Association of Canada. And we are preparing right now for what's going to be the final game of the tournament. This is going to be the championships, the finals, where we're going to see Kootenay Kannibelles up against Terminal City. And I tell you what, before we do that, looks like Risky Biznatch has got somebody that she's looking to talk to. Risky, go ahead, take it away.
How's it going, guys? Here I am with Lulu Demon, who's one of the jammers for the Terminal City All-Stars. Last year, Terminal City didn't get to play in the championship, so what's different this year?
Well, we have a completely different team this year. We were really sad not to make it last year. We actually had a game already organized with Eugene, so otherwise we would have loved to have come. It's a really special event for Canadian Derby. This year has been a huge learning experience for this team. It's completely different. We focus on our teamwork. We focus on keeping it simple and just working together and communicating, and that's really it.
And you guys played the Kannibelles about 3 weeks ago, so how do you think this game will be different from that one?
You know what? I'm so looking forward to this game. The last time we played them was amazing. They are an incredible team. They haven't been in Derby that long, and to have come in and, really shown everyone what hard work and dedication and being fit and motivated, what it can do in a short period of time. So, it's been 3 weeks, and we played a couple of games. We played Rat City's A team and their B team last weekend. So every time we play a game, we learn something.
So basically, you're ready.
Oh, absolutely. We're ready. We're super excited for this game. It's going to be a battle, and that's what we want, right? That's what anyone wants, is a really, really good game.
Perfect. Well, good luck, and we'll see you guys after the game.
All right. Thanks, Ann.
Thank you, Rizke. And I tell you, she's absolutely right, Andy, isn't she, when she talks about this going to be a battle. Now, Andy, last year at the Best in the West, the Kootenay Kannibelles come in, and they're kind of they end up the darlings of the tournament. Nobody really knew who they were. They end up, about middle of the pack, 4th or 5th. That's not what we're seeing here today.
No, absolutely. They really would like to win this championship and show that all of their hard work has paid off in the last couple of years. They are incredibly fit, but mostly due to the leadership of Lynch, who was one of the founding members of this league. Former player with in Edmonton, moved to Nelson a couple of years ago and wanted to start playing roller derby here in the Kootenays. So due a lot to her leadership, and then with all the new players that have joined, have really helped her take over and get this team to where they are today.
And speaking of Nelson, that's exactly where we are. We're in beautiful, and I mean beautiful, Nelson, British Columbia. And Kootenays, of course, being you see the Kootenay Kannibelles right there on your screen. They dress the part. The fans walk around with, we think they're fake severed limbs.
We hope they're fake. Anyways, we've got Risky Biznatch here. She's got a member of the Kootenay Kannibelles crew. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I've got Coach Shirley here, who's the bench manager for the Kannibelles. And I know you guys played 3 weeks ago, so how is this game going to be different than that game?
I think this is going to be just a completely different game. We didn't know what to expect then, and now because we've had that game, we really are very prepared for it. And I think for the Kannibelles, we have nothing to lose. Whatever we do in this game, we're going to come out as the winners,
Absolutely. So I know you guys have home advantage. Everyone's cheering for you guys, so that must also be motivating as well.
This team has traveled a lot and this is our second home experience, and so it's just night and day to actually have people in the stands cheering rather than.
Perfect. The energy's high, so I wish you guys good luck, and I'll see you after the game. Very exciting game. I can't wait.
And she's definitely got that pegged. This is going to be an incredibly exciting game. As you can hear, a lot of noise in the background. The place starting to fill up, Andy.
Yeah, Kootenay Kannibelles definitely have that in their corner. They've got home track advantage. Lots of pretty rabid roller derby fans here in the West Kootenays area. West Kootenay Kannibelles actually have, the West Kootenay League actually has 7 teams in their league, probably the most teams in any league that I've ever heard of. Each little town around this area has their own team. Right now we're looking at the Terminal City Roller Girls. They're doing their interview with, of course, their gorgeous Pivot Star hoodies, custom made by Lulu Demon herself.
And as our venue announcers are announcing each one of the names as they go around and skate here today, I tell you, Andy, why don't you run through the lineup, if you would?
Sure thing. Number 00 is Amazombie. Number 1 up, Player 1. Number 2, Sissy Straight Edge. Number 8, Booty Quake. Oh, I'm sorry, Booty Quake's not here for the weekend. Hi, Booty Quake, we miss you. Number 11, Chica Bomb. Number 18, 8 Mean Wheeler. Number 44, Lulu Demon. Number 52, Aveda Perone. Number 69, Flower Plower. Number 77, Captain Roller Girl. Number 84 is not here today, Buffy St. Fury. Hi, Buffy, we love you too. Number 117, Pretty Painful. Number 600cc, Miss Emasculator. 1111 is Sundown. 1223 is Kim Jana. 1587 is Mary Queen of Shots, and skating under number 45 today is Schwarzenegger. We also have Mac the Mouth, who's head coach, and David Blowy, who is their bench manager, all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia. That's your Terminal City All-Stars.
And I don't know, I'm looking at Rizke right now. Rizke, you got somebody else lined up for us?
She's pretty excited to be standing next to a guy in a stretchy orange suit, though, that's for sure.
Should I talk to the guy in this orange stretchy shirt?
If he can move his lips, go ahead.
He can't talk. Oh. Are you having a good time? He's having a good time.
He says thumbs up.
We're very excited. There's a lot of home fans for the Kootenay Kannibelles, so I'm excited.
People who sound like they're pretty excited to see the Terminal City All-Stars, too. If you call yourself a roller derby fan, you have to be a fan of the Terminal City All-Stars. They are definitely a powerhouse in the western region of Canada.
Yeah, and I think in many ways they sometimes are a little overshadowed by the success of what's going on a little further east out in Montreal with the News Kids, and certainly taking nothing away from the News Kids, but we know that Terminal City is not only playing well here, they are playing well in the WFTDA, and when the final rankings come out, I think are going to be very happy, even if they don't make the regionals, with the ranking that they're going to have.
Right now we're looking at the home team right here, the Kootenay Kannibelles. Bob, you want to talk about what their lineup looks like today?
Absolutely. The Kootenay Kannibelles, you're going to see number 47, that's Scarlet Bloodbath. We've also got number 2, that is Canuck Norris. We are going to see number 5, Black Eyed Tea. We're going to see number 14, Celine Dion. Number 17, Brutiful Bits. Number 18, Texas Massacre. Number 25, Miss Treat. Number 18, Texas Massacre. Number 30-30, Pell Mell. 33 is Pants Off. 45, I think we all know who that is, Beretta Lynch, who's had just a fantastic weekend. We're going to see plus 61, Terra Australis. 73, Ripon Rushforth. 79, Joseph Brawler. That's Beretta Lynch being introduced.
Good luck trying to talk over that, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. Number 82, and a newer addition, and who's had a fantastic weekend, Timo. Number 88, Mariah Scary. 279 is going to be Tara Peasoff. And, of course, they are coached by Coach Fill Your Pants, and the bench coach today is going to be Ann Surley.
Looks like the Kootenay Kannibelles are getting a little protein boost before they hit the track there with some severed limbs.
That's right, a part of any good breakfast. And as I go through this, Andy, let's talk a little bit about what it took to get here. First off, by getting here, as we said before, both teams are going to move on to the RDAC National Championship game, which will be played next spring. This is the finals. Both teams are qualified now for that national championship. The outcome of the game, of course, will be bragging rights as to who wins the tournament, as well as probably play into the seeding for the national championships next spring. Details on that forthcoming, of course.
That's right. The RDAC is also hosting the Eastern Championships, which is going to be in Guelph, Ontario. That's going to be July 21st and the 22nd, hosted by the Royal City Roller Girls, Guelph's first roller derby league. So they will have their own set of regional championships out there. And again, the top 2 teams coming out of that tournament will be meeting up with the Kannibelles and the Terminal City Girls at the national championships.
That's right. And though unfortunately the Central Division that tournament has been canceled, as I believe we're going to get ready here for our national anthem here.
I think the girls on both teams had a thought that they were going to start playing roller derby. Unfortunately, we have a little more business to take care of.
And you know what? This is a great time to, if you've not watched a lot of roller derby, get a little bit of our roller derby demo, some of the basics of Derby 101.
The basics of flat track roller derby, brought to you by the Hammer City Roller Girls. The game of roller derby is played on roller skates. The players wear helmets, elbow pads, wrist guards, knee pads, and not much else. The track is flat, not banked. Each 30-minute half is broken down into shifts called jam. The group of 8 players at the front is called the pack. The pack is made of players who play the position of blocker. Behind the pack is the 2 jammers. The jammers are the most important players on the track and are marked by a large star on their helmet. When the whistle blows, the jammers try to skate their way through the pack and out the other side, but they will be met with the hips, booty, and shoulders of the opposing team's blockers. When 2 bodies make contact on the track, this is called a block. Once the jammers have skated their way through the pack the first time, they're ready to begin scoring. They earn a point every time they legally pass a member of the opposing team. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins. The jammers will fail to earn points if they pass the opposing blockers illegally. Any player who performs an illegal block will earn a penalty. So what's illegal? Elbows, tripping, back blocking, and passing out of bounds. Any player who receives a major penalty has earned a trip to the penalty box. The jam ends when the lead jammer places her hands on her hips, or when 2 minutes has elapsed. 30 seconds later, a new jam begins, and the whole thing starts again.
And with that, there we go. A little bit of the Derby basics for you. We will continue to explain those as we go along. And oh my goodness, talk about having to explain things right off the bat. Terminal City is going to start out with a star pass as the jammer was able to pass it up to number 77. That is Roller Girl.
Yeah, Terminal City likes to take that strategy. If the other team is lining up on a knee, wants to start a scrum start, instead of trying to fight their way through, the jammer trying to fight their way through that tight pack, she just passes the star to the pivot, or she can take over as jammer.
And the pivot who you see with the stripe down the helmet is the only player that can be past the star cover from the jammer. She's the only one eligible. She's the only other one eligible to jam out on the track.
So we've got Aveda Perrone from Terminal City lined up on the jammer line for the second jam, and Timo from the Kootenay Kannibelles. Today, Terminal City Roller Girls are playing in black. Kootenay Kannibelles are playing in white.
And we're going to see Timo work her way to the inside, and nice job by Terminal City. They're able to pick her up The pack is scattered all over the place. You're going to have to let her go. Timo's your lead jammer. And listen to the crowd go wild.
Looks like Terminal City attempted another star pass off the top of that jam. It didn't quite work for them, and they got their pivot sucked to the back of the pack. Amazombi having a heck of a time trying to break through the back of that pack there.
Now Timo's got a full pass. That means she has gone by every one of the other blockers as well as the pivot. That's 5 points. We call that a grand slam. And the Kootenay Kannibelles off to a hot start.
Yeah, Kootenay Kannibelles are throwing their weight around a little bit, knocking a lot of people over there in the pack.
And Timo works her way through. She's going to pull some more points. Looks like it's going to be 4 more. And she's going to call the jam off. As you saw in our derby demo, you tap the hips. It takes 4 whistles from the refs after the hip tap to get the jam officially stopped.
What do you think? Do you think the crowd liked that jam?
Oh, my goodness. And it just makes me think what they're going to like right now as Beretta Lynch steps up. Beretta Lynch, probably our juggernaut for the tournament MVP. And she's going to be up against Lulu Demon. And Lulu doing a nice job of jumping around. She's going to move to the outside. They do a pretty good job putting a 2-wall up there, Andy, and she's nowhere quite through yet.
She is. She's really good at pulling blockers forward out of play, so watch for that. Also, while you're watching Lulu Demon jam through the pack, take a look at her footwork. It's second to none.
Absolutely, but she does get through the pack. When you see the pack ref point at her, well, kids, it is impolite to point unless you are a jam ref, and the jam ref indicating that she is the lead jammer. You will see the second jammer being followed by a ref also who is waving an X or a cross through the air, which means she was not lead jammer. Lulu Demon going to get through, and she's going to put up 3 points.
Yep, great track awareness by Lulu Demon. She knew exactly where Lynch was behind her. She picked up as many points as possible before Lynch hit the back of the pack.
And this is something we have not seen much at all this weekend, and that is 11-11. That's going to be Sundown, who's going to jam for Terminal City. We're going to see Timo back out on the track after taking a jam off, and with the whistles blown, they're going to get started.
Yeah, Sundown's another one of those double duty players. She is equally gifted as a blocker as she is a jammer. She doesn't jam all that often, but when she does, look at that. She picks up lead jammer for Terminal City.
Yep, she's able to get through Timo right alongside her. Now, textbook would tell us that when they get near the pack, they're going to call it off defensively, and that's exactly what Sundown does.
When a game is this tight, Bob, my coach always says a 0-0 jam is a win.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. So that lead jam, as you've seen it described, is as important defensively as it is offensively. Right now we're going to see number 2, Canuck Norris, step up against Kim Jana. Kim Jana, we got to see jam for about 2 steps, and then she passed the star the last time.
Yeah, we'll see if she keeps the star on her head this time. It'll be impressive no matter what.
And you can tell Lynch kind of trying to get in there, trying to keep her and the pivot separated.
Canuck Norris also has had an amazing weekend. She is a very, very strong jammer. Even though she's a bit on the small side, she's really hard to knock down, hard to contain.
And Kim Jana's going to get forced to the outside. Canuck Norris looking for some room. Was up the center. She gets caught somewhere along the line. Pell-mell has to let Kim Jana go. And Kim Jana is gone. You can see Canuck Norris now. There she goes. She kind of reloads, uses that running skip step, gets herself through the pack. Kim Jana now on a scoring pass. And Kim Jana gets hit. She has her feet swept right up from underneath her. She calls off the jam. And it looks like it's going to be number 18, Texas Massacre, who's going to go to the box. It looks like she caught her just a little too late. You have to think about blocking oftentimes, like if you're a football fan, like you see a wide receiver and the cornerback. You cannot just hit somebody in the back. You can't hit them in the back of the arm, the back of the shoulder. You have to make contact so that it does make contact with the front or side of the body.
Mm-hmm. Between the shoulder blades is the non-contact area.
Yep.
Looks like we've got 2 blockers in the box for Kootenay Kannibelles, which will give Terminal City a big advantage for Aveda Perron. She'll have way fewer blockers to fight her way through.
And Aveda Perron is off to the races. In the meantime, we are going to see number 5, That's going to be Black Eyed Tea. Somebody else who's had a very good weekend. In the meantime, Evita Perron going to try to get through a 2-wall. And Scarlet Bloodbath actually probably takes her own blocker out of play. And that's going to spring Evita just long enough to complete her pass through the pack.
Yep, she got 4 full points there before she called it off. Again, really good track awareness by Terminal City. Aspiring Derby girls, please make sure you pay attention to where, if these two teams are both going to know exactly what's happening at all times. Both jammers, whether they're in the box or on the track, where the other blockers are. It's a lot of track awareness is going to take your team to the next level.
What a lot of people don't realize is that communication is often the toughest part of coaching one of these teams. And we're going to see Timo right now take off against Lulu Demon. Lulu Demon's going to get caught, knocked to the inside. Timo's still looking for some space. Timo going to come up the center. And she's stopped right there by Roller Girl.
Roller Girl really good at those backwards blocks. You can block another player in facing her as long as you're still traveling in the counterclockwise direction.
Unfortunately, it appears that it was Roller Girl that wound up with the foul, but however, Timo came through, and she is the lead jammer, but she's got Lulu Demon right on her backside, so we know where this is going, and that is to stop. If you've been watching this all tournament long, you will have seen a number of teams that were willing to take chances. You're not going to see people take a lot of chances in a game like this.
No, especially not in the first period when they need to establish where everybody's strengths and weaknesses are. You're not going to take any chances, especially giving up points.
And we're going to see Black Eyed Tea up against Sundown one more time. On the first whistle, they will wait to see if there is a pack, which there is. Pack definition being defined as the largest group of blockers comprised of both teams. And as they start to skate forward,
looks like Terminal City wants to take the back wall. A favorite strategy of theirs, taking the back wall is a really good choice defensively because the opposing jammer has to meet your team first, which is a pain in the butt.
Okay, so when she gets across that pivot light, that front black line, that's going to release the jammers, and that's when you hear the second whistle. Oh, and look at that, it's going to be a foot race. But I believe that was, they're so close, I'm having a hard time telling. Nope, it actually is going to be Black Eyed Tea who comes out first. I thought she might have had a minor track cut. And look at that, Sundown's going to cut to the inside. I don't know if Black Eyed Tea realizes it, but she realizes that she's put up points and that she needs to match it.
I think Black Eyed Tea wanted to see if she can sneak in a couple points ahead of Sundown, but that was a really fast pack, really hard for those jammers to score any points. The pack was skating as fast as the jammers were. So Kim Jana lining up with Canuck Norris as jammers for this round. Both teams look like they've got full strength on their blocker lineups.
Okay, we see Terminal City take a knee. That means that they are intentionally going to split the pack. When that happens, they have to release the jammers on the first whistle. Of course, they then stand back up very quickly to try and detour the other jammer, and it works quite well in this scenario. Look at that. She just slides by.
Really strong back wall for Terminal City. 4 black soldiers standing back there, blocking out Canuck Norris over and over and over.
And that's Kim Jana, who has been a terror all weekend long. Canuck Norris, who is not easy to hold up for that long, is finally through the pack. And as we're watching right now, Kim Jana still kind of juking, jiving, trying to work herself through for another pass. She's finally going to get run out of bounds. That's going to be by number 14, Celine Dion.
That's 2 points for Kim Jana. I have a feeling, Bob, this is going to be a fairly low-scoring period with the speed and defensive skill on both of these teams. It's going to be hard for either jammer to score any points.
There we see Mac the Mouth giving them a couple of words of advice as they go back to the bench. Now we've got both of our jammers back out on the track. We're going to see Evita Perron, excuse me. Once in a while, real names come into play. And Timo.
Both sneaking through on the inside line, but Evita Perron makes it a few steps ahead. Looks like it's going to be another race for a point or two.
Oh, and holy crap, we've got a jammer race going down the back stretch They're going to come around, and sure enough, looks like they're going to call it off.
Again, Terminal City taking no chances, calling it off early.
Yeah, for those of you who are not familiar with roller derby, I'm Bob Noxious, and, you know, I'm sitting...
Is that on your birth certificate,
No,
Bob?
it's not. It's not. When the sport got started, we all decided to choose fun names, and it is something that we have stuck with. So you're not going to see, at least in this particular bout, any real names, as right there.
Except for Kim Jana.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That's her real name.
And right there is Beretta Lynch. Beretta Lynch is through the pack. The crowd goes absolutely crazy.
Wow, great footwork by Lulu Demon there. She's not lead jammer. She's about a half a track behind. She weaved her way through the back wall of Kootenay blockers.
Oh, Beretta Lynch with a nice pull-up move. She's going to end up calling off the jam. I think that hit, though, that comes is not going to be late, as it took 4 whistles. Again, to stop that jam, so that hit is still legal until that 4th whistle comes through. And once in a while, somebody likes to drop a hello, how are ya? And we're going to see Sundown line up against Texas Massacre. Now, we haven't seen Texas Massacre actually spend a lot of time jamming, though she has been out there on occasion throughout the weekend.
Looks like Sundown is going to be in regular rotation for this game. She has not been in the lineup. She was not in the lineup on Friday.
Well, right now she's not in the lineup, but she is sitting on her keister as she gets knocked down towards the back of the pack. However, Texas Massacre not exactly having an easy time of it with that front wall that Terminal City had built. And Sundown with one more to pass, and Sundown's she's getting a nice little shake and bake. She's gonna clear it in the first turn there. Andy?
Yeah, Terminal City accomplishing 2 things with this jam. They had Texas Massacre trapped in the back and also slowed the pack down enough to get Sundown out the front.
Hey, you saw Texas Massacre go through. You see Sundown right now coming into the pack. She's going to hit that front wall. She's going to take the points that they have. We're going to call that hit it and quit it. And she's going to take 2 points, and that should be a 2-0 run.
Currently our score is Vancouver Terminal City All-Stars 18, Kootenay Kannibelles 17. We've got 16 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first period.
And of course, you are watching us on Canuck Derby TV. We want to thank Johnny Capote as well as AMJ Productions, who provided coverage all weekend long.
Another start pass by Terminal City. Kim Jana passes it off to Pivot Roller Girl. A replay of what we saw in the first jam of this game. Of course, you cannot obtain lead jammer status if the star is passed, which gives you a disadvantage in terms of scoring points, but also gives you advantage of getting out of the pack first, forcing the other team to call it off, going to a 0-0 jam.
Well, and you might kind of say to yourself, well, then why did they do that if they're not going to be able to score points? Well, you don't know that, right? If your defense holds up, a very good chance she gets around, she does put some points on the board.
That's right. If the other team manages to, if your team manages to keep the other jammer in the pack for an entire lap, you can start scoring points all you want.
And we're going to see Black IT line up against Evita Perron one more time.
Looks like we've got full force on both teams, 5-on-5 roller derby. Terminal City taking a knee and sending someone forward to get things started.
Oh, we're going to see Black IT with a nice move at the inside. She's going to go outside. She's going to be your lead jammer. In the meantime, Evita Perron with a nice move against Scarlet Bloodbath to the inside. And Andy, they are off to the races. Holy crap.
Black IT looks like she got knocked to the inside, attempting to call it off while she was falling, but couldn't get her hands on her hips in time. Evita Perron, in the meantime, sneaking into the back of the pack and picking up a point. So that's a 3-1 jam. Terminal City actually scored 3 points in that round.
And of course, holy crap, it is the world's most amazing breakfast cereal made in the paradise on British Columbia's Sunshine Coast. Find out more at www.holycrap.ca. And wow, have we seen an absolute barn burner here at this
guys.
point.
Hi, Snatchy. What's happening on your end of the
Hi,
world?
can you guys see me?
I see you.
I'm down at the. I'm here with Uninspired, one of the NSOs for this tournament. So this is the first time in Nelson, and you said that this is a really important tournament for Nelson. Why is that?
The West Kootenay League is new, and it's wonderful for women. They're engaging in team sports. They're getting out and being healthy and active, and it just encompasses a whole lot of energy that you're only seeing a part of it this week. They're at this tournament. They work out 4 or 5 times a week. They're driving hundreds of kilometers to get to practices and bouts, and the people in the black on the inside and outside of the rink are non-skating officials. There's 15 of them supporting every game along with the referees and the skaters. So.
Right, and this game couldn't be possible without our NSOs and referees, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and we'd like to thank the people that came from Washington as well. Thank you. We're done?
All right, thank you, Rizke. And right now they're going to line up again. We see Beretta Lynch up against Lulu Demon. And didn't look like Lulu Demon quite had her feet set yet.
No, it looks like Beretta Lynch is aggressively trying to push her way through the outside there behind 2 blockers. She knocked a couple of people over, so she may be up for a back blocking penalty, but we'll see.
Yeah, it looked like was that Schwarzenegger maybe that she ran over?
Yep, like we said, you cannot hit somebody in the back between the shoulder blades. If you do end up knocking them down, you'll get a major penalty.
And whoever thinks they're going to run over Schwarzenegger.
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
Oh, look at Lulu Demon fight. Right now, what you might wonder what's happening is they're kind of waiting for the pack to split apart. If the 2 teams get 10 feet apart, they have to let the jammer go.
So we see Terminal City fighting for the back of the pack there, slowing things right down to a stop so Lulu Demon can score as many points as possible. Kootenay Kannibelles locking down the defense in the front. Lulu Demon hoping to push them further enough forward that they will be pulled out of play.
And that call's got to come, and it does.
Kootenay Kannibelles doing a pretty good job of bridging, and bridging means you send someone back to make up the difference between proximity and being out of play.
That's right. The two teams cannot be more than 10 feet apart, separate, or if the 2 teams are engaged in what they call a pack. In order to have a pack, you have to have members of both teams. The pack is the largest group of blockers that consists of both teams. But however, you cannot have renegade blockers 20 feet, more than 20 feet in front or in back of that pack harassing the jammer. If they make contact at that point, that's a no-no.
Yeah, and it looked like Lulu Demon could have been able to go around a couple more laps and score some more points while the other jammer was sitting in the box, but she was having a lot of trouble breaking through that front wall, so she decided she'd take it to 10 points and go home.
Well, Lulu Demon with quite the workout. Oh, look at Beretta Lynch. My goodness. She gets knocked almost backwards. She spins.
Amazing footwork by Beretta Lynch on the inside. Sundown still stuck on the inside, trying to make her way through the front, and she is finally through for her initial pass.
And Beretta Lynch is going to come through, and she's going to call off the jam after a pretty hard collision with number 18.
I've never seen a crowd more excited about 4 points.
And that's 8 Mean Wheeler, who we're seeing for the first time. 8 Mean was able to get herself out here just for today.
I think it was worth the trip.
Oh, yeah. She's a spectacular player.
So we're looking at Terminal City again, taking a knee on the line. We've got 1 Terminal City player in the box and 1 Kootenay Kannibelle in the box.
The minute they take the knee, that it's almost like they don't exist. That means that the split pack and that the jammers can leave on the first whistle. But as they stand back up, they're able to block Timo effectively. And I'll tell you that jammer line wall that they have built has worked to a T so far. As Kim Jana is well out in front.
Kim Jana is going to hit the pack first. Probably going to call it off pretty quick. She picks up at least 3 points, if not 4 there, before Timo can score any.
Yep, that's going to be a 3-point score. Wasn't quite able to get the score counts when the hips pass each other. She couldn't quite get her hips past the hips of the frontmost blocker for Kootenay.
So we've got a little more than 10 minutes left in this first period. Boy, it's going by fast, Bob. Vancouver's got 36 points. Kootenay Kannibelles have 22 points. That is a very low score for as much time has passed in this first period.
We're going to see Evita Perron and Beretta Lynch line up one more time. Evita Perron definitely looking for some room on the inside. I think Beretta Lynch gives up on that idea. And we still a struggle, still a fight.
Lynch trying to stay in bounds, riding the line on one skate, but eventually loses her balance.
Evita Perron is going to get around. She is going to be the lead jammer. Very smart by her.
Yeah, Lynch thought she had it on the outside there, but she got a big hit by 8 Mean Wheeler. Had to go out and come back in behind her.
And that's why she stays on her knees, right? And look at Beretta Lynch is going to get through. She's going to be your lead jammer, or she is your lead jammer.
Whoa, big hit by Texas Massacre on Evita Perron. She gets knocked to the outside.
And we're going to see Evita Perron. No, Evita Perron's going to cut the track. She's going to have to go sit down.
Yeah, by the look on her face, I think she knew she did it.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes you just know, but you can't help your legs. They just want to go forward.
And I think that really happened. I don't think Lynch even really realized that she was headed, that her opponent was headed to the box. But in some ways, that may not matter. They get to start out with a fresh set of legs and a full 1 minute with a jammer out there.
That's going to put Terminal City to big disadvantages. They have 1 jammer and 2 blockers sitting in the penalty box, whereas Kootenay Kannibelles have all 4 blockers and a jammer.
And with Kootenay taking a knee, Terminal City figures they might as well stand up. That pack's already split. That lets Beretta Lynch go. She's able to get past the 2 Terminal City blockers quite quickly. And Beretta Lynch is through again. Listen to the crowd, ladies and gentlemen. They're going crazy.
Actually, I think that's Timo, Bob.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
We got Roller Girl and Miss Emasculator doing their best, what they can do with just 2 blockers on the track.
Miss Emasculator trying to use Roller Girl with an assist. You can move your own people around. Wasn't quite enough to help block Timo from getting through.
Terminal City staying in the front, forcing the other jammer to not only have to make her way through her own players, but them as well.
Oh, Timo's going to wipe out. And, of course, now we see Evita Perron come out of the box. And the interesting about this, Andy, as we both know, is a lot of times that release jammer comes through pretty well unnoticed. Not this time, though. In fact, Kootenay's picking her up very quickly.
Evita Perron did not complete her initial pass when she was on the track earlier, so she has just finished her initial pass, is only now eligible to score points. But Timo, of course, knowing exactly where Evita Perron is, calls it off before that can happen.
That's right. She got past player 1, I believe.
That was a huge jam for Kootenay. 17 points on the board. They now have taken over the lead once again. 43 points for the Kootenay Kannibelles, 36 points for Vancouver's Terminal City All-Stars.
And
so everybody think smart money's been on Terminal City for this tournament, but from the looks of the way things are going in this first period, looks like they're going to have a big challenge by Kootenay, especially if Terminal City continues to get penalties.
Yeah, right now it's the penalty bug that has certainly bitten them the worst, as we see Lulu Demon and Beretta Lynch. And both are going to hit the pack. Lulu Demon wants to go inside. Beretta Lynch wants to go outside. Beretta Lynch is driving those legs, and she's going to get through on the outside. Beretta Lynch is your lead jammer. Wow. Lulu Demon with a nice pull up there to avoid a hit and get through.
She's so good at avoiding those big sweeping hits. She knows exactly when it's coming, and she goes in the other direction.
And we see Scarlet Bloodbath in there trying to shake things up.
Trying to open up the inside line for Lynch, but Flower Power's not letting that happen.
Lynch with a nice backward move and a rotation. Might have gotten an extra point or so out of that.
Yep, 1 point on the board for Kootenay in that last jam.
That's a lot of energy expended per point, isn't it? But it's 1 more point.
I feel like maybe this game is going to come down to a handful of points, so that 1 point could be the deciding factor.
Oh, you're exactly right. And we got Sundown up against Canuck Norris. Kootenay going to start at a knee now. Both teams actually standing. And we're going to get a split pack there, and that's going to release the jammers.
Mariah Scary doing a number on Sundown with her teammates in the back there, holding her back. She's still stuck at the back of the pack. But Terminal City, great wall in the front.
And Sundown trying to find some room on the inside, but it's going to be Canuck Norris.
Sundown right on her tail, which is probably going to mean Canuck Norris is going to call it off.
And we've got a jammer race. Holy crap! And this one looks like it's got all the makings of a defensive call-off jam. Now here's where we see the team sliding out.
Trying to occupy the jammer line. We saw some, looks like Amy Wheeler's going for a nap. Scarlet Bloodbath doing some limbering stretches.
Scarlet Bloodbath, I wasn't sure she knew she could do the splits.
Looks like she can.
She looked like she got down there and was surprised. And we've got Kim Jenna up against Beretta Lynch. And with the split pack, the whistle sets off the jammers. Both packs stand back up.
Kim Jenna fighting her way through the front three blockers on her own.
Oh, look at this ball on the inside. Holy cow, it is going to be Beretta Lynch.
Lynch took full advantage of having a couple of down players in front of her. Lynch having Kim Jenna having none of number 61, knocking her down as she passes her way through.
Oh, holy crap, we've got a jammer race. And Beretta Lynch is going to get past at least one. I believe she'll get two. I think there's somebody in the penalty box. Wow, when he holds up two fingers and I actually say that, I feel smart for just moments until I try that the next time. Wow. If you're just tuning in, you are watching Canuck Derby TV and our broadcast of the championship bout of the Best in the West, the Klash and the Kootenays, the very first of the Roller Derby Association of Canada's playoff tournaments. And this is the final game between Terminal City and the Kootenay Kannibelles.
Aveda Perron is the lead jammer. She had a little bit of trouble in the front, but not too much, hopping over the last blocker. Canuck Norris still stuck in the pack behind Terminal City.
Oh, nice assist. You see Canuck right there. Oh, she's going to get nailed.
Big
Absolutely.
hit by Miss Emascular. She's really good at those outside hits.
Yes, she is.
Aveda Perron is through for her lead jam, her first pass. That would be a grand slam since she did pass the other jammer.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why they had to let her go, that's when we were talking about. That was pell-mell, hit that 20 feet outside of the pack. That's called the zone of engagement. They cannot make contact with the jammer at that point. Aveda Perron knocked down to the floor. Yeah, there was definitely a block in the pack that was not kosher. And it's going to be Texas Massacre that goes into the box.
Yeah, Pants Off is really doing a great job of keeping Aveda Perron from scoring any points. She even got knocked down once, and the crowd went a little bit crazy. They want some blood.
Oh, look at that. Nice pull-up jump step there. And I guess that's why her name's Aveda.
That's another grand slam for Aveda Perron. Canuck Norris really having no luck right now.
Canuck Norris, as you can see there, trapped behind a three. Oh, who came in and absolutely plowed that over? That's number 33, Pants Off, as you were talking about earlier.
Yep, she's been really, really productive for Kootenay this game.
She cleared out a two-wall for her jammer.
Aveda Perron probably thinking about calling it off before Canuck can score any points, and she does. I think she's a little pooped.
I think she was looking for the exhaustion rule.
Yeah, that was 10 points, 12 points for Aveda Perron. Probably some of the hardest earned points I've seen all weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So that brings us another lead change, Bob. If you're playing along at home, you know what that means. Take a sip of your coffee.
Bob.
We have 48 points for Vancouver at this point. Kootenay Kannibelles sit at 46. Less than a minute left in this first period.
And, of course, you are watching this broadcast on Canuck Derby TV, and we encourage you to click the donate button so that you can help make this possible, as we would like to certainly be able to cover all 4 of the RDAC tournament playoffs, as well as other games that are going to be important throughout Canada. And right now you're going to see Timo sent off, I'm assuming maybe a back block.
Yeah, she was completely stuck at a standstill on the back of 3 Terminal City players, including Lulu Demon, who was playing defense for her team before she decided to start playing some offense, which she has done successfully now. She's lead jammer.
And Lulu Demon, look at that. Nice plow stop, and she's going to get back up. She's going to take a hit. She bounces right off. She's going to get through.
This is going to be a big deal for Terminal City if they want to reclaim their dominance in this game. This is probably the thing that they're best at, is power play. So if you're taking notes for a roller derby textbook, start taking notes now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is something they have done so well. They're bridging, but they're going to have to let her go. They're 20 feet outside the zone of engagement. And Lulu Demon right now skating like a demon and putting up some big points. Lulu Demon smart enough not to come in there too hot and draw a back block foul. She can try to just drive herself through that wedge, and that's absolutely what she does. That is pure leg strength, Andy, isn't it?
Absolutely. And patience.
Yep.
And there she goes again. The pack is not moving at all at this point.
Beretta's like, you're not going to come by on my side this time.
Yeah. And she's pushing, pulled them out of play. They are not allowed to engage her if they're too far away from the pack.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that Vancouver has creeped up. I thought they were going to look for a split pack. But Lulu Demon's going to get through. She puts a lot of points up on the board.
Yeah, well, the reason why Terminal City probably did creep up is that they were in danger of getting and destroying the pack major at that point. If they are not making efforts to reform the pack, they are also in danger of getting a major.
And we are 9 minutes and 54 seconds until we hit halftime. And right now you can see Sideshow Rob. He's talking over here talking to the statisticians, to the scorekeepers.
It looks like we've got Risque Biznatch hanging out with Mac the Mouth, head coach of the Terminal City All-Stars.
Mac, it's been an intense game. How are you feeling so far?
Well, I knew the Kannibelles were going to come out firing on all cylinders. This is where they wanted to be since the Westerns last year, and they were 5 points away from being in this game last year. So I knew this is how they were going to come out. And they've been working really hard, and they've always had us in their targets, which is great. We love having the competition in BC, and the home crowd and the noise. It's pretty electric in here. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the noise in here is really must be intimidating for the Terminal City girls because it's not home turf.
Yeah, everyone starts to zone it out and just starts playing, right? It took us a few jams to kind of get settled in. We got caught chasing them around the track because they like to skate fast. So I think we just got to be patient. I always preach a lot of patience. It'll come to us, right, when the opportunities do, and I think they did near the end of that period.
So 3 weeks ago, you guys played them, and it was a very different game. So what are you going to talk about in the locker room right now at halftime?
Just getting our walls back together, not getting caught in the chasing game that they like. They really want to play a fast game. They play fantastic offense, right? We've worked on really tough defense, but we need to tighten that down.
Perfect. Well, good luck, and we'll see you after the game.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Yeah. Very excited about this game, guys. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
It's not just about the shorts. It's about inspiring others. It's about having fun and making new friends. It's about getting hit down and getting back up again. It's about being a team. Pivot Star. It's about roller derby.
And future jammer, do you have anything to say? She's silent but deadly.
And welcome back to Clash in the Kootenays. I'm Bob Noxious, sitting alongside And Destruction, and we are preparing for the second half of what has been a battle. Andy, I don't know how else to describe it. This is intense.
Yeah, I like to call these kind of games barn burners. Not only is it a super close game, intensity is high, skill is amazing, the crowd is also going a bit nutty.
My. Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, if it wasn't for the fact that I've been able to get some wonderfully, wonderfully good sleep over at Prestige Hotels and Resorts, I don't know how I would handle today.
All right, we've got Risque Biznatch over there hanging out with Coach Fill Your Pants from Kootenay Kannibelles. A quick word from him before we get started. Looks like Snatchy's having a little technical difficulty, so we will talk to Coach Fill Your Pants maybe later in the day. Teams lined up on the line there. We are getting ready to start this amazing second half of some of the best roller derby Canada's ever seen. If you're lucky enough to be tuned in to Canuck Derby TV, then count your blessings. Kim Jenna on the line. She has finally made her way through on turn one as jamming for Terminal City. Timo still trying to make her way through. Looks like she is out, but Kim Jenna has already approached the back of the pack. Kim Jenna starting to put a couple points on the board. She calls it off, maybe just in time before Timo got there. We'll see what the refs have to say about that. 3 points for Terminal City, 2 points for Kootenay Kannibelles. Timo very fast approaching the back of the pack there.
And Iveta Perron, who says, "Don't cry for me, Terminal City." Something like that.
And Beretta Lynch, Kootenay Kannibelles.
She is Beretta Lynch.
Both teams at full strength. Evens things up a bit. Looks like Kootenay Kannibelles looking to speed things up and cross the pivot line so they can release their jammers. Terminal City not interested in that.
I'm sorry, Andy. I only have to giggle a little bit because right now at this day, this is speeding it up at the start.
Sometimes it is, yes.
And we will not get the second whistle until the final blocker crosses that black pivot line that you see on your screen. Or the pack is split. And apparently the pack got split. And look at Beretta Lynch trying to pound through on the outside. Not Iveta Perron, not far behind. And Lynch, nice counter block.
Great leaning block by 8 Mean Wheeler. That's her speciality. She will, if she hooks onto you, she will not let go.
Oh my.
Amazon be helping her out there in the front.
I tell you.
Here comes Iveta Perron. She sneaks through on the inside in the chaos.
That was almost all 8 Mean Wheeler right there.
She is a one-man army, that's for sure.
Amazing.
She's also a very experienced veteran player. She's been playing for, I'd say, 6 or 7 years. She's also a trainer, so you can tell.
Iveta Perron going to call off the jam. Well, of course, every coach likes to see their blockers get somebody caught in a sit block. 8 Mean Wheeler able to do that against Beretta Lynch.
It can actually be more effective than a big, giant sweeping hit because if you are traveling across the track to take someone out, you're taking yourself out of position. Whereas if you're using a really good positional block, there's really not much the person behind you can do.
Exactly, and when we talk about a sit block, it's butt in the gut, and once you get it there, it's very, very hard to get around somebody once you slow them down, as we see Timo try to work herself through. Oh, she gets through. She's lead jammer, but she falls, and she's back into the pack.
And in ensuing chaos, once again, Terminal City sneaks through. She is in the lead, but she is not lead jammer.
Works out okay because even though Lulu Demon's able to get out front, because she had achieved lead jammer status, she's able to call it off. That might have looked kind of funny to you, like, why does she have it? She's in the middle of the pack, but she did break through. Her hips did pass the farthest most opponent. It's just that she fell and she kind of got sucked back in.
We've got one player in the box for Terminal City, 2 players for Kootenay Kannibelles, which will put the Kannibelles at a big disadvantage. The difference between having 3 blockers and 2 blockers on the track is very large.
Exactly. Look at that. I think Beretta Lynch is going to get squished.
It's just a shoving match at this point.
Oh, look at that, though. It comes totally wide open, and that's going to be Beretta Lynch out front. Wow. And holy crap, we've got a jammer race.
Terminal City keeping things really fast in the pack, trying to prevent Lynch from scoring any points. She shoves her hips forward to make sure she gets as many points as she can.
They're going to say 3. And I think that's probably right. Didn't look like her hips had passed that very last blocker.
No, I think she thought she'd scored 4 points, but unfortunately she didn't make it past all of them.
Yeah.
Terminal City once again occupying the jammer line, making a strong back wall. Usually their preferred strategy. Kim Jana playing a little defense for them as she makes her way through the outside of the pack.
And Kim Jana going to fight it outside. Nice job of rolling off the block to the inside. And she's going to come out first. She's going to be your lead jammer. And one more time.
From the look of her pace, she's going to try and steal a couple points before she calls it off.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's, although she doesn't really have things stacked the way she'd like to.
No, all the Kootenay.
In fact, that's probably going to result in a couple of points for Kootenay.
Nope, didn't work out for either team. 0-0
really?
jam, yep.
No harm, no foul.
So, Bob, either I've had way too much coffee this morning or this is an exciting game because my heart is pounding.
No, it is just that exciting. And it's moving fast.
Right now, we've got a score of 75 points for Vancouver's Terminal City All-Stars, 51 points for the home team, Kootenay Kannibelles, 23 minutes and 50 seconds left in this bout. And home team favorite, Beretta Lynch, breaks through the pack very easily to get lead jammer status. The fans love it.
And as she's doing that, we see number 52, Evita Perron. She's going to take a fall right there. Beretta Lynch is going to have a chance to pass her. This is going to give her a shot at a grand slam. And Beretta Lynch being held up nicely inside of the pack. There's a big wipeout. Yeah, Beretta part of that.
She calls it off from her back on the floor.
And she might get, well, she gets 3 out of it, which is, of course, she got the jammer pass. That was part of it. But I tell you, Lynch, such a fighter. As we see Mac the Mouth down there in the foreground of the Kootenay bench.
You will see some jammers give up after a couple of shoves and try to reset, but she just barrels her way through in a safe manner. She's a pretty clean player.
Yes, very much. Yeah, very much so. She spends very little time in the penalty box for someone that plays as hard as she does.
She really does. We've got a timeout here, looks like, so we're going to go over and visit with Risque Biznatch, who's over in the corner talking to Derby photographer Bob Ayers.
Bob Ayers, Derby photographer extraordinaire. So looking through your lens, have you seen, what is the highlight of today's game?
It's hard to pick out one. There's, Beretta Lynch is doing some excellent jamming. You can see why she made Team Canada at the World Cup. Evita Perron with that fierceness she has. It's really good to see. There isn't one thing I can really pick out.
If you haven't checked out Bob's photography, do so. Check him out on Facebook or on Flickr. And it looks like this jam is going to start soon. So
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Risque. And we're going to see teams line up right now. Timeout's still not done yet. We see Coach Mac the Mouth roaming around and wearing his brown paper tickets shirt, which is awesome. In fact, I have to say, we want to say thank you to Brown Paper Tickets. Brown Paper Tickets, who ticketed this event, ticketed many of the leagues around the United States and Canada. I guess that would be North America, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
And is also made it possible for me to be here this weekend.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah, they're nice people. They truly are nice people. And we are going to see Lulu Demon and Jammer to be determined, I think.
So as this official timeout continues, we want to give a shout out to Kootenay Co-op Radio, who's helped us out. Everybody in this building be here today. They are 93.5 in Nelson. Kootenay Co-op Radio uses its facilities and the initiative and skills of its membership to create a medium for balanced expression of the varied perspectives of our community. Sounds good to me. And Bob Noxious here doing his own dance break. Maybe you should go...
Well, what you have to understand is when you're from the Madison, Wisconsin area, this is a huge part of the tradition during the football season. They play this in the all 70-some thousand fans do jump around in the stands, and the whole place shakes.
That would be so fun.
It is.
Well, when we start getting 70,000 people at our bouts, maybe we'll start doing that. We see 8 Mean Wheeler. She's having a little dance break herself in the penalty box there. She's not too bothered by sitting in the box.
She's so awesome. Can I just say
She's
that?
just a fantastic ambassador for roller derby in general.
Is.
She travels all around the world with Camp Pivot Star, who is a part of the Pivot Star Corporation. They do a lot of great training all over BC. Pretty sure they've traveled over to Alberta. If you get a chance to have Camp Pivot Star come up and whip your derby girls into shape, I highly recommend it.
Yes, absolutely. And as we...
Speaking of Camp Pivot Star, we've got Lulu Demon, the president and CEO of Pivot Star. She is jamming for Terminal City, and she is your lead jammer.
Yeah, she's the only jammer out on the track, so apparently Beretta Lynch must have gotten called on something on that last, and that might have been what the timeout was about.
Lulu Demon doing her best to try to push her way through that big wall of Kootenay blockers.
She's got springs for legs.
Yeah, she's also really good at making blockers move forward with her without drawing penalties.
Yes, you're right.
We'll watch it again. Little replay of what we just saw.
And I tell you, if you're an aspiring skater, that's all core strength right there.
Yep. And restraint.
Yeah.
It's so tempting to just smash into someone in the back because you can knock them over easily, but
oh, yeah.
you're not allowed.
That's right. Oh, Lulu Demon, nice pull-up move right there. And that's going to break her through.
She got 5 more points there. Another grand slam on that power play. Again, textbook power play moves by Terminal City. This power play skill that they've learned over the last few months that they've been working on has really helped them win a lot of games. That was 15 points for Lulu Demon on that power play.
And that is exactly what the West Kootenay team did not want. We see Beretta Lynch is standing off to the side. Beretta Lynch, anytime they're standing in the penalty box, it means they're down to their final 10 seconds before they're going to be released. We're going to see her come right out. Of course, 8 Mean Wheeler's going to be ready for that.
Sundown is first out of the pack, but because I think she incurred a minor back block penalty, she will not become lead jammer.
So right now, Beretta Lynch, if she can get through, can actually... Well, stop this before too many points are gained, but there are points up on the board.
She is lead jammer, but Sundown managed to put a couple points on the board as she made her way through on the second pass there.
I'm guessing 3. Is that what they got?
Looks like she got the full 4 points there before
Really?
Lynch called it off. Yep.
Beretta saying, oh, poo.
Oh, poop.
Poo.
We've got Kim Jenna on the line once again for Terminal City, number 1223 in black.
And there's Coach Fill Your Pants right now thinking about what's going to have to happen here to get his team back into this. 40 points, certainly not a lot of points. But they're going to need to try to get a power jam or something going.
This jam has started. Both teams deciding they want to stand still for a little while.
Oh, they've got a... Did you see that? That was Bam Bam, I believe.
No, it was
Mariah Scary.
Knocked
Different
Roller Girl
88.
out of bounds. I think she took a step behind the jammer
She
line.
did.
Which is an illegal procedure. She came back in front of the jammer line.
She actually stepped out of bounds and rolled forward just a tad and then stepped back in and got a cut
that's
track
what
call.
happens.
Yeah. And Kim Jana and Timo now both getting ready to spring this bad boy.
Patiently waiting while their blockers figure out what to do next. And
they're not quite over the pivot line yet. But that second whistle tells us that has happened. Timo.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Timo's going to get through there so quickly. Somehow she raises up her arm, turns herself sideways so that she's thin and able to get through that pack. That's what you got to do. It doesn't matter how skinny you are. You got to make yourself skinnier sometimes.
She sailed right by the outside once again. Picks up 4 easy points, hits it, and quits it. Aitmeen once again using all of her arms and legs to make sure they kick up the most space on the jammer line there. They definitely want to take up a lot of space when they're going up Beretta Lynch when she's jamming. Looks like 1 player apiece in the box. Roller Girl's on her feet, which means she is going to be released soon, and she is.
And that looks like that change thing. It looks like they really wanted to compress Beretta kind of towards the center. Well, it works out. As they get Vieta Perron around the outside, they do end up compressing Beretta, and Vieta Perron is going to be your lead jammer.
Yeah, great defensive work on off the jammer line there by Terminal City. Look at them all touching each other, using each other as one big giant blocker.
Oh, I tell you, the addition of Aitmeen Wheeler to that lineup makes such a difference.
She's like, any lineup she joins, it becomes stronger.
And Beretta Lynch
They've
has
still
been
got
held
her
up the
pinned.
entire time. And this is something we've not seen.
There
all
goes Vieta
tournament long.
Perron for 5 points. They've still got Beretta Lynch, so she picks up a grand slam.
And Lynch gets up off the ground.
She looks like she's having a little trouble there. Maybe she got a big hit that slowed her down.
And Vieta Perron's going to come around for another 5. A big 10 points with Beretta Lynch.
Yeah, Kootenay Kannibelles are struggling to play any defenses. They are concentrating really hard on trying to get Lynch out of the pack.
Well, I'll tell you, this really bodes towards what we heard from Rizke Bisnach as she was talking to Mac the Mouth at halftime about what they wanted to do, and he said, you know, let's be patient and get our walls set up, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yep. Beretta Lynch finally out of the pack for her initial pass. Likely not going to have time to score any points as there's only 8 seconds left in this jam.
And Vieta Perron able to get around the very final line of defense, which is tear a piece off.
20 huge points for Terminal City. That was amazing, amazing technical defense on their part. No chance for Kootenay to score any points.
I'm going to be exhausted by the time this is done. Holy cow.
Holy
crap!
They better tone it down. They're going to make me tired.
And of course, holy crap, it is the world's most amazing breakfast cereal made in paradise on British Columbia's Sunshine Coast. Find out more at www.holycrap.canada.
Looks like we're taking a team timeout here.
And I tell you, it has been such a defensive game. Not that we didn't expect that, but Vancouver really kind of winning that push right now.
Speaking of defensive games, I'm here with Jorma, who's a local here in Nelson, BC.
Nelson local.
And we're at the Canuck Derby TV banner here, if you can see us. So you were saying that this game has been very fascinating to watch, and that Terminal City has been a big challenge for the Kannibelles.
I'd say so, but less so than I thought. The first half was very, very tight, and I've been pretty impressed to see how it's developed here. The Kannibelles have improved a lot.
And the Kannibelles haven't played someone who was at a similar level up until recently. Is that correct?
They have scrimmaged against them a few times, but I think this is probably their best performance so far.
Right. It's been an intense game, and it's going to continue as this timeout is coming to an end.
Thank you, Rizke Bisnach. It's fun talking to some locals, some super fans of Kootenay Kannibelles.
And right there you see Lulu Demon kind of raising her hands in the air. She wants to get the attention. She wants to get the attention of the officials so that she takes her 4th intentional minor.
Again, we see jammers doing this a lot. They go on the track, not as a jammer, but as a blocker, take their 4th intentional minor penalty, so they go to the box play out their penalty as a blocker instead of a jammer, which doesn't hurt their team as much.
Oh, look at that. She's able to stay on her feet. And that is going to be Texas Massacre.
Wow, great moves by Sundown on the outside line there, taking a big hit on the outside, but able to stay on her feet, ride the outside line on one foot.
And Texas Massacre going to come into the back. She's got one more to beat. She's going to get around her. She's going to get the full 4.
4 points by Texas Massacre and the Kootenay Kannibelles there. I don't believe. Oh, we got 2 points from Sundown, I think. Nope, 0 points from Sundown.
Sundown, I think it's a shame. I can't wait till Gordon Lightfoot comes back to Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, a name we haven't called nearly as much of, and that is Canuck Norris.
Nope, she hasn't been jamming as much as we've seen her in the last couple of games. I'm not sure, maybe they're saving her energy for the last part of this game, which would not be a bad idea since she is one of the most productive jammers on that team.
Oh, she is. She's absolutely amazing. She's put on a clinic here all weekend.
Mostly a clinic of durability and persistence than anything.
Yes. I wouldn't want to have to tell her no in any way, shape, or form.
No. Terminal City jostling around, taking control of what she's trying to do, but she almost hops through on the inside line there, gets a big hit by Aiden Wheeler.
Wheeler keeps her from getting through.
Looks like she picked up a major track cut.
Yep.
Canuck Norris, unfortunately, going to the box, which will put Terminal City in a big advantage on a power play. This is exactly what Terminal City wants, especially considering they've got 2 blockers in the box.
And right now they're setting up to allow Kim Jana to try to work herself through that pack. They'll see if they get a pack. If nothing else, they're going to short back up. But that's going to be a full 5 points right there for Kim Jana.
Yeah, roller derby players watch Kim Jana's work on the outside line. She is so articulate on those skates, sneaking by in the smallest of margins around the outside.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And sometimes that's not always easy for tall players. But she is so nimble, and she's able to turn herself sideways so quickly.
Even though blockers think they're getting a piece of her, they make contact. She stays on her skates, stays in bounds.
And once again, that's going to be 3 grand slams, I believe.
That's 15 points. She's satisfied with that, and she calls it off before Canuck Norris is even out of the box. Sometimes not a bad idea to do before the other jammer comes out of the box, because then you can start the jam again with no jammer on the other team and maybe pick up lead jammer status again.
No, that's a very good point. And in fact, that in this particular situation works out to almost near perfection. And speaking of near perfection, I got to tell you about the room and the experience that all of us have had from Canuck Derby TV at Prestige Hotels and Resorts right here in Nelson.
We see Aveda Perron comes fighting her way through a couple of blockers in the front of the pack there. Blockers bouncing off her left and right. She's already approached the back of the pack for her scoring pass. Canuck Norris still stuck behind Terminal City.
And she gets a piece of Brutiful Bits. It gives herself she gives herself a jersey whip.
Canuck Norris just hitting that wall over and over and over, but she's not giving up.
I tell you, Missy Masculator, a name we've not called enough of all weekend long. A big part of what's going on up front.
Yep, she's a really, really talented blocker. I find her, whenever I've played against her, I find her strengths. She is just out to get the jammer. She will set her sights and she will not let you through until you fall down. Canuck Norris out of the pack on her scoring pass now. Aveda Perron looking back. Great track awareness.
An awkward fall, but she gets up and she's okay. She's got a smile on her face. Aveda Perron almost doing a kip up by accident as she rolls backwards. And we're going to see Beretta Lynch up against Sundown.
Looks like Chica Bomb from Terminal City is sitting in the penalty box, picked up her 4th minor at the end of that jam there.
Player 1, 8 Mean Wheeler back in the lineup. We've got Pell Mell out there. And wow, kind of a rolling bodies. But in the meantime, it's going to be Beretta Lynch, who's your lead jammer. And it's not even going to be off to the races, as you can see Beretta coming right back into your screen. And Beretta looking for a little room on the outside, takes advantage of a little bit she sees on the inside, takes a look at the backside of player 1 and 8 Mean Wheeler and realizes she doesn't want to deal with that, takes the points and calls it off. Pretty good move.
Terminal City had a little problem reforming their wall and resetting before Beretta Lynch hit the back of the pack. So instead, they smartly sped up the pace to prevent Beretta Lynch from passing and scoring any points. But it wasn't super successful. Lynch managed to sneak in 3 points at the back there.
And I think that brings up a good point right there, Andy, and that's the fact that if you're playing defense, you want to travel faster, that's so you can match the speed of the jammers. And right there we see both jammers take off one more time. And through first. That is going to be Texas Massacre. And Lulu Demon.
Doing what she does best, juking, ducking.
She's the human pinball. And Texas Massacre, nice job staying on the inside of the track.
That was a great backwards hip check by Missy Masculator, but it wasn't enough to hit her out of bounds.
You could see that, you could even almost see that breaking point where she was gonna fall backwards, and she pulls her balance back together at the last moment.
She bit her wheels into the track and held on until she stood back up again.
That's right.
Again, that's a matter of fitness and core strength, being able to keep your balance under extreme conditions. Kim Jana once again playing a little bit of defense before she sneaks around the outside, her favorite place to play. Black Eyed Tea stuck behind 3 Terminal City players. She pokes out through the inside.
Oh,
she's
look at that.
lead jammer with some fancy footwork on the inside line.
Holy cow. Holy crap. We've got a jammer. And I'll tell you, that was a situation where Black Eyed Tea looked like she was totally stuck, and then it looked like somebody stamping on a package of ketchup as she just squirts out the front.
But let's give props to Kim Jana. She was almost half a track behind, and with just sheer force of will and speed, she caught right up to Black Eyed Tea, forcing Black Eyed Tea to call it off defensively.
And I think that's been one of the amazing things about the West Kootenay team is the core of jammers. Beretta Lynch has obviously been their strongest player, or I feel she's been their strongest player. But all of their jammers have just performed so well. And we see them right now. Beretta Lynch back out there trying to work herself through the 2-wall. In the meantime, there goes Evada Perron around the outside.
Beautiful patience and restraint by Evada Perron there. She got sucked to the back a little bit, but she knew that the opportunity was going to come when they were dealing with Beretta Lynch, and she whipped around the outside and managed to get through first.
And that might have been a beautiful move, and it was against Brutiful Bits.
Evada Perron puts 2 points on the board for her team in black, 0 points for Beretta Lynch and the Kootenay Kannibelles. Currently, the score is Vancouver Terminal City All-Stars 142, Kootenay Kannibelles, home team 69 wearing white. We've got 7 minutes and 36 seconds left in this bout.
And if you just happen to be tuning in, you are watching the final championship bout of Klash and the Kootenays, the RDAC's Western Region Tournament. You are watching us on Canuck Derby TV, thanks to Johnny Capote and AMJ Productions. And there we see that both teams take off. It's going to be Texas Massacre for the West Kootenay team. And is that Lulu Demon? Yes, it has
Once
to be.
again, pulling those 2 blockers in front, way out of play until they have to let her go. Texas Massacre getting a jersey whip from one of her teammates. She floats out of bounds, but comes back in.
Texas Massacre, very important. Well, apparently not a legal hit. No, she did cut the track.
She did cut the truck on the outside around at least 2 people, if not more.
Oh, what a couple people. A lot if you're a ref. Did you know that was coming?
No, I did not.
It looked like you braced for it. Yeah, once in a while, the guy with the horn, I want to talk to him.
Well, I'm glad he's excited.
Yeah.
He's cheering for roller derby.
He scares me.
It just kind of hurts my ear holes.
Holy crap, I got to go back and change my underwear.
Terminal City taking a knee on the jammer line there to get things started. Kim Jana that's Sundown with some fancy footwork, flipping around, doing a 360 to avoid a hit on the inside, and she is easily lead jammer.
Oh, look at that nice move. She fakes to the outside, comes in. They catch her anyway. Looked like she was going to scoot clear of that. And in the meantime, we're going to see Scarlet Bloodbath.
Looks like Terminal City has gotten things organized finally and are pulling the pace back really slowly to capitalize on this power jam. Sundown picks up her grand slam. Instead of trying to go for more points, she decides to take her 5 points. She's happy with that.
Well, with 5 minutes left, this game essentially being put out of reach by Kootenay. And I tell you, if you're just tuning in as of late, this score is not indicative of the game that we have seen.
No, I feel like the first period was a totally different game than the second period.
Well, I think the second half of the game was 8 Mean Wheeler. You know what? I can't say it enough. I'm not sure that this game is the same if 8 Mean Wheeler's not playing in it.
Yep, she's very, very, she's a really smart player, probably the smartest player I've ever had the opportunity to play with. She always knows what's going on. She always knows what's required in any situation. She's clearly done her homework.
And you know what? She's just one of the coolest people you'll ever meet.
Very cool lady. Now we've got an interesting situation on the track right now. We've got Kim Jana is the only jammer, but 8 Mean Wheeler at this point is the only blocker for Terminal City.
And Beretta Lynch jumping up and down, trying to get the crowd into it. And I think not only for Kootenay, but just for the fact that we are celebrating the very first Canadian playoff tournament ever played. This is just the first step towards a national championship.
We got Kim Jana. She is out first. Little penalty trouble.
Yeah, 8 Mean Wheeler all of a sudden being pulled off the track.
She did have her foot behind the jammer line before as the jam started, which is an illegal procedure.
Texas Massacre. She comes by, she gets through pretty quickly, but it doesn't matter as Kim Jana is able to stop play.
Yep, she hippity-hopped through the inside line as she was calling it off. Looks like every time Vancouver is getting lead jammer, they're calling it off very quickly to maintain control of this last 4 minutes of this bout.
And of course, things are just getting started here. We are going to be in Guelph on the 20th and 21st to play the East region.
Looks like Risque Biznatch is going to talk to another person in the audience. Risque Biznatch, what's going on?
I'm here hanging out with Mickey Knox, who's actually a player for the Terminal City All-Stars. Currently, she's injured on a trip to California. So watching the All-Stars play after their long trip to California, how do they look out there?
They're looking pretty good out there. Everything's coming together. It's fun to see what we've been working on in practice. Everyone's playing together. Really good teamwork out there.
And how do you think they match up against the Kannibelles?
My nerves are a bit shot from the first half, but it was a good game to watch. It is a good game to watch, and they're doing pretty well.
Sitting on the edge of your seat for the most part?
Most of it, yeah. A little bit uncomfortable.
A little uncomfortable, she says. But back to the game here. It's getting really loud.
Thank you, Snatchy, for that. We're getting ready to start. We'll end this team timeout. Next jam is going to start with Aveda Perone jamming for Terminal City, and once again, Beretta Lynch is jamming for Kootenay Kannibelles. We got 2 Terminal City players in the box. Not ideal for them, but not insurmountable.
No, especially when you've got 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go.
And you're up almost 100 points. There goes Aveda Perron, lickety split through the inside pack there, but Lynch not too far behind. She is out. Aveda Perron is your lead jammer. This is a very fast-paced pack. Kootenay Kannibelles would like to speed things up to prevent Aveda Perron catching any points, and she calls it off. 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in this bout. Vancouver currently has 155 points. Kootenay Kannibelles sits at 69. Kootenay Kannibelles would like to score as many points as possible in the last few minutes of this game, so they are taking a knee, forcing a no pack call, and getting the jammers released right away.
Well, and to your point, now with the ranking systems and things that go into place, the final score does make a difference.
Yep, absolutely. The bigger point spread, the higher your rankings are.
And Lulu Demon with a nice job getting through that pack. She negotiates that very, very quickly. And behind her is going to be Timo. I'm sorry, that's going to be Black IT. Mm-hmm. Yes? The black eye should actually indicate that pretty clearly, I think.
Hence the name. Lulu Demon getting caught up in the pack, but calls it off.
And you see the team start to congratulate each other. You see Mac the Mouth giving a couple of words of advice there.
Looks like neither jammer were able to score points in that last jam, which works out just fine for Terminal City, but not so great for Kootenay. Currently the score we have is 155 for Vancouver, 69 for Kootenays.
Oh my. Timo, was that... Looked like Timo that just came in there and smashed into everybody.
Bretta Lynch is out first.
Bretta Lynch off to the races. And Sundown having a little harder time but towards the back of the pack. And you're going to see Beretta Lynch right now. On your screen, she is stuck at the back of the pack. Nobody going to give her an inch. Not even at this point. And Sundown just kind of taking her time. Oh, there we go. Beretta Lynch with a nice move to the inside. She's going to call off the jam.
Strong 4 points for Beretta Lynch going up on the board. Both teams are back at full strength. 4 jammers apiece. Sorry, 4 blockers apiece. 4 jammers. Wow, that would be a crazy game.
That would be cool. Actually, that's kind of how the sport started out. Look it up on Wikipedia.
We'd need a lot more jam rafts for that kind of game. Kim, Jenna, and Timo lining up on the outside. Oh, sorry, that's Texas Massacre jamming for Kootenay.
Oh, my.
Big hit by Emma Zombie on Texas.
Zombie.
Another one on the inside. She's everywhere.
And in the meantime, we've got Kim Jana, who's been instructed to just wind that clock down. And right now, there's only 23 seconds left on the period clock.
But there is 1 minute and 28 seconds left on the jam clock. And if the jammer decides not to call it off, the jam will reach its natural conclusion at the end of the jam, not at the period clock. She's got her eye on the clock. You know what she wants. She wants to call
look at
it
that's
off.
going to be Kim Jana. She's going to call this thing off. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a win for Terminal City as we see the number 1 and 2 seeds face each other here at Klash in the Kootenays and give us one heck of a show. Oh, I tell you, Andy, how amazing was it to be a part of this entire weekend?
So exciting. Just the pure fact of watching some really amazing roller derby, but this is also going to increase the skill level and popularity of roller derby in Canada, and it's very exciting to be a part of this historical event.
Oh, absolutely, and we definitely want to say thanks to Canuck Derby TV. We want to say thanks to Prestige Hotel and Resorts, where the Canuck Derby TV crew stayed. It was wonderful.
Looks like our official score at the end of this bout, Vancouver wins 159, Kootenay Kannibelles 75. And both teams should be very proud of all of those points that they scored.
And I'll tell you, holy crap, it was a lot of fun. And holy crap is the world's most amazing breakfast cereal made in paradise on the British Columbia and Sunshine Coast. Find out more at www.holycrap.ca. As we watch the teams go through their congratulations lines.
Yeah, lots of love in this room. Both of these teams are very fond of each other.
This just gives me chills. I love this.
Kootenay Kannibelles getting some love from their fans in the arena. Huge support for them in this room.
Oh, I just absolutely love this.
And let's go to Risque Biznatch now, who's got jammer Kim Jana.
Here I am with Kim Jana, who had some amazing jamming out there. So you're talking about your move. You've got good, amazing footwork. How's that working for you?
It's working amazing. I started doing it at the first time we played these guys, the Kootenays, and I don't know where it started with the side stance, and all of a sudden I'm stepping with my toes, but I've been doing it ever since. It was one of those things where you hope you're not going to forget how to do it next game around, but there it is.
So what do you do to practice that? Do you do that a lot in practice?
I jog around the track on my toe stops as fast as I can.
So your feet take a beating after the game?
Yeah, I've got a sore bunion. It's super sexy.
Awesome. You had an amazing game, so we're looking forward to seeing you for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Risque.
We're out in the coast in 2 weeks.
And you're looking at the very tail end of what is a celebration between the two teams. You see there, right there, Mac the Mouth congratulating the various NSO's officials, thanking them for their work. We want to thank everybody from the West Kootenays that helped put this together, the RDAC, Prestige Hotels, Holy Crap Breakfast Cereals. And my name is Bob Noxious. I'm sitting next to Ann Destruction.
Yeah, we'll see you June 21st and 22nd in Guelph for Eastern Championships. Make sure you tune in to CanuckDerbyTV.com.
And I tell you what, we're going to go to a quick break, but stick around because the awards ceremony is coming up.
It's not just about the shorts. It's about inspiring others. It's about having fun and making new friends. It's about getting hit down and getting back up again. It's about being a team. Pivot Star. It's about roller derby.
We're back from a little break here, and looks like Risque Biznatch has got a great interview on the line. What's up over there with Lynch, Risky?
I've got Greta Lynch here with me right now. How was that game for you?
It was awesome. It was incredibly fierce, which I love.
Amazing. And I know you've played with a couple players from the Terminal City All-Stars before on Team Canada, and how was it playing against them?
It was a little bit of a perspective shift, but it was good because I'd also practiced against them a lot, so I knew some of their little ways to wiggle around them.
So was that
something? I also knew mine.
Right. So that was a way to be able to bring that back to your team as well, and be prepared for this game.
Yeah, we've been working super hard.
What was the biggest challenge?
When they got their 3-wall on me and trying to get our offense out there, that was the toughest because we needed 3 or 4 on their jammer. So it was just who's going to hold that jammer better, which is nerve-wracking.
Right, you guys looked amazing out there. You guys should be proud, and it was an amazing game to watch. Great battle.
We're number 2.
Number 2, they're number 2 right here with Greta Lynch. Thank you very much. And you're watching Canuck Derby TV.
We've got Bob Noxious on the floor. He's about to MC the awards ceremony. All the teams are going to have their MVPs named. All these teams here should be very proud of the work that they've done. Some great roller derby action we've seen all week here.
And I'm Ruske Biznatch, and I'm hanging out here with Andy Struction, and some awards are going to be handed out to the teams here today.
MVPs are going to get some fancy swag bags there. Probably some great donations from the sponsors of this tournament. Prestige Hotel, Pivot Star.
The Prestige has been amazing.
Oh yeah, you were staying there, weren't you?
I was staying there today. I ordered breakfast, and both Bob Noxious and I decided to hang out on my patio and look at the lake. It was gorgeous.
They've got a very sexy resort hotel on the lake here on Kootenay Lake in beautiful Nelson, British Columbia. So we just saw some of the best roller derby Western Canada's ever seen. Snatchy, what are your initial thoughts on the game we just watched?
I thought it was an intense game. I love the Kootenay Kannibelles. They just play such a tough game. Watching them about 3 weeks ago, they really picked up the strategy that Terminal City was putting out there. I mean, it's not rocket science, you know, splitting the pack, fighting against that jammer, but they just moved their feet and were able to score those points. So
yeah, they did a really good job of getting their jammers out first thing, getting lead jammer really quickly and really aggressively, which is a really key thing to do, especially when you're playing a team this strong like Terminal City. Now, in retrospect to Terminal City, I think their defense and their power play is what made the difference in this game. As soon as they got a jammer locked in, they locked her in and wouldn't let her go. Whereas Kootenay had some good defense, but the jammers were able to push through a little bit easier. So whatever Terminal City was doing was totally working. Also, they had 3 or 4 really key power jams doing exactly what they needed to do, slow things down, pull those out of play calls, and rely on the other blockers to pull themselves out of play. So that, I think, was the key to Terminal City's success today.
Watching roller derby, especially in the past couple of months, has all been about splitting the pack, and within those power gems, that's just where you're going to score all of your points. So if you don't have good strategy, especially in terms of power gems, penalty kills, that's where your team's going to suffer. And I know that the Terminal City All-Stars, they really monopolized on that. That's Easy Break Oven, I believe, received MVP.
Yep, for Oil City, she had a great weekend.
She did, and she was super fun at the after party, partying it up. I wasn't there. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, you were.
I was representing.
It's Tommy. Guys, you want to come down here? You are the MVP. For the Evil Dead. There we go.
Kamikaze
Or is this accepting on
named
her
MVP
behalf?
for
Yeah.
the Evil Dead. She has also had an amazing weekend. Very strong jammer, also incredibly good offensive blocker. She's not here apparently, but congratulations to Kami.
They had to leave right away, I believe. But
Congratulations
she's
to
tough to
Taz.
knock down.
Tremendous jamming. and
People are
blocking.
excited. MVP from Red Deer is Taz. She
her.
was a pretty clear winner. She's an incredibly strong player too. Also doing double duty. A lot of these MVPs are just as strong blockers as they are jammers.
I think Taz has become one of my favorite players. Her footwork and agility have been unstoppable, both as a jammer and as a blocker. She just knew where to be at all times.
Tights all weekend long. Scarlet Bloodbath. Congratulations. These are not easy decisions. And of course, last, certainly not least, from the winning team, Terminal City, want to say congratulations to Lulu Demon. Lulu Demon's performance in the last two bouts making such a great difference. Congratulations to Lulu Demon. Did she actually get one of her own products? I think she may have. Beretta Lynch, you were the unanimous choice of the announcing staff as tournament MVP. Now, before anybody takes off, we want to give out the team awards. First, we want to say thanks to those teams that played in the 3-4 game. Eagle, congratulations on third place. Second place, the Kootenay Kannibelles. If you would like to roll forward, we have some medals for you.
You just want them to form a line?
And hand these out. As they do so, we want to say go ahead and put the medals on. Let's give some shout outs. Thank you to the video production by AMJ and Canuck Derby TV. Sound by Jay Hanley and the Kootenay Co-op Radio. We want to thank all the volunteers and hosts that helped out, including West Women's, of course, West Kootenay Women's Roller Derby League. Thank you, I want to say to the announcers that came out and helped this weekend. The ref and the NSO crew, you guys are spectacular. The photographers who helped make this history. The coaches, skaters, support staff. The Nelson Leafs for manning the beer garden. How about the rhythm ropers? Was that not incredible? And thank you to all the Derby love shared between everybody. As I have an opportunity to get the picture taken with their medals. Terminal City, let's bring you guys down. I think we've got some medals for you, and heck, there might be even a trophy in there. Come on down. Congratulations to Terminal City. The very first Canadian Western Region champs. Congratulations. It's the very first trophy. Congratulations on behalf of the West Kootenay Kannibelles and the RDAC. You are the first Western champs. Anything you'd like to say? Because there's no way I'm giving the mic to Mac. Anything you'd like to say? Because I'm not going to give the mic to Mac. We will hear from Mac. Mac, what do you have to say?
I want to thank the Kootenay Kannibelles. You guys are awesome hosts. What a great town. Nelson. Thank you, Nelson, BC. It's beautiful here. Come on down to the West Coast. Let's do this again real soon. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks, Bob.
No, thank you guys. Thanks to everybody that's been here. I want to thank West Kootenay, myself. You guys have been tremendous hosts. Thank you to the RDAC, and hopefully we'll see a lot of you come down to Guelph on the 20th and 21st for the East. And with that, on behalf of the West Kootenay Kannibelles, I'm Bob Noxious. Let the after party begin.
It's not just about the shorts. It's about inspiring others. It's about having fun and making new friends. It's about getting hit down and getting back up again. It's about being a team. Pivot Star. It's about roller derby.
Where do we go now? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now?
Oh, I missed them.
I need sunglasses. You're like way more back.